Warm greetings to all. Today we are going to look at the topic tenses. Tenses is one of the important grammar topics, and it creates tense in all of you when you write an essay or a paragraph. What is tense first of all? Tense actually it is from the word tempus, meaning time, and it is used to indicate the time or action of the event in a sentence. Now we would move to the various types of tense. Actually it is divided into three. There is present, the moment, past, action which happened earlier, and future, which is going to occur. This is the three broad division of tense. Now to make it very specific, now we are going to divide again this three, that is each into four. That is simple, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous. And now we are going to have a table of all the tenses. The first thing is the simple present. Usually we use simple present tense while the present action is going on, or the habits or facts. The usual form is the subject plus V1 form. Example, she writes an email to her, they visit my home. Now we would move to the second form, that is present continuous, where you would have the form as subject plus be verb, am, is, or plus verb ing. When you are using I, you have to use am. When you are using third person singular, that is he, she, it, or any name, you have to use is, and when it is a plural form, you have to use it with are. For example, she is writing an email. They are coming to my office now. Now we would move to the next tense, that is present perfect. Perfect, we always use the perfect when the action is completed, that is close to the past. The form is subject plus has or have plus V3 form. Has, you have to use the has with regard to the third person singular, either it is he, she, it, or name. For others you have to use the have, and the verb form you have to use the third form. For example, she has written an email to her friend, they have visited my house. Now move to the next, the present perfect continuous, where you can use it is when the action is going on, at the particular point you have completed something, there you would be using present perfect continuous. The format is subject plus has or have plus be plus verb plus ing. For example, look at this particular sentence, she has been writing an email to her friend. Okay, now we have completed with the present tense. Now we would move to the past tense. Past tense, the format is subject plus V2 form. We would use the past tense when the action is completed. For example, she wrote an email, they visited my house. Now move to the next one, past continuous. Past continuous, the action which was going on for a particular period of time in the past, there we have to use it. The usual form is subject plus be verb, we have was or were plus verb ing. You have to use was for the singular. For example, I or he, she, it, or any name, you have to use was. And if it is a plural, you have to use were. For example, she was writing an email to her friend, they were visiting my house. Now we would move to the next tense, that is past perfect, and where you would use the past perfect, that is action completed before another past is over. For example, subject plus had plus V3 form. For example, she had written an email to her friend. Now we would move to the next, the past perfect continuous, subject plus had plus been plus verb ing. For example, she had been writing an email to her friend. Now we would move to the next tense, that is future. The future, where we can use to tell something that happens in the future. The modern grammarians, they state that there is no future tense, because when you are having a present or when it is a past, there is a change in the verb, but the future we would add with the modal. So, modern grammarians, they state that there is no any future tense. If you want to state future, it can be definite by using a present tense itself. But with regard to the classical grammarian, here we are using the future tense either with will or shall. Shall has become outdated and now we are using only will. So, the format is subject plus will plus V1. For example, she will write an email. Now, move to the next one, future continuous tense. Here you would have the format as subject plus will plus be plus verb ing. For example, she will be writing an email to her friend. Now, we would move to the next tense, it is future perfect tense. The format is subject plus will or have, will plus have plus V3 form. For example, she will have an email to her friend. Now, move to the third format, that is the future perfect continuous. The format is subject plus will plus have plus been plus verb ing. For example, she will have been writing an email to her friend. So, now we have completed all the 12 tenses. Now, we would take care with the formula. The formula means, for example, V1, that is the present form. Here the examples are take, write, establish. Now, look at the past form, took, wrote, established. For example, take V3, that is the past participle form, where we would have taken, written or established. Some of the points that you have to keep in mind while using the tense. Here I am going to tell you with mistakes that usually the engineers would make. The first thing is, you have to take care where to use the present tense. The present tense you have to use it while stating the general truths. For example, facts, the Eiffel Tower is in Paris. Here it is not going to change, so it is a fact. Or accepted findings in the field. For example, light travels faster than sound. It is generally accepted. When it is accepted, you can use the simple present. And the third thing is the permanent aspect of the document. For example, average income differs by race and gender. It is a permanent aspect. So, here also you can use the present form. Now, look into the second thing. When you are writing, take care with the third person. Third person singular means, for example, any name or he, she, it. When you come across with this formats, with regard to the present tense, what you have to do is, you have to add yes to the verb. For example, likes, he likes to eat a lot. And now, another important aspect is, you have to take care of time markers. What is time markers? For example, now, recently, currently. Now, my students are listening to my lecture. Here, when I come across with the now or recently or currently, you have to use with the present format. Okay? But when you come across with the since, for example, you can use since in the two tenses. For example, I have been working on this project since Monday. Have been working means it is with regard to the present perfect continuous. You can also use it with the past tense. For example, we lived here since 2010. What is the difference is, here when you are using the past tense, the action is completed and it is no more. But when you are using present perfect continuous, still you are living there. So, please check to the meaning of the sentence with regard to usage of since. Now, move to yesterday. When you are having a time referring to the past, there yesterday it is a past, and if it is next week it refers to the future. Now, move to the next one. Avoid incorrect verb forms. For example, I go to the market yesterday. Here the time referring word is yesterday, which refers to the past. So, what you have to do is, the correct form is went, because go is V1, verb to, that is a past form, you have to use it. So, right way is I went to market yesterday. Now, move to the second slide, that is avoid misusing simple past and present perfect. For example, take this sentence, I have seen that movie yesterday. This is a normal usage which is wrong. What you have to do is, as here the time reference word is yesterday, so what you have to do is you have to use it with the past. So, the right format is I saw that movie yesterday. Now, look at this, that is you have to maintain a consistency with regard to the tense. If you are using a sentence with the present format, always completely use it with the present format. If it is a past, use completely with the past tense. So, please maintain consistency while using the tense. Now, move to the next slide. Here, avoid mixing past tense with the present tense. Only earlier I stated that you have to maintain the consistency. I am reassuring that, take this particular sentence, the experiment was conducted and the data is analyzed. That is wrong, because here you have a past format. So, what you have to write, the data was is the right format. Take the next one, the system was designed and now we were testing it. We were testing it is the right form. Please avoid present format. Now, move to the next important thing, when you are writing, okay, for example, ongoing relevance, there you have to use the present perfect tense. For example, many researchers have investigated. Why have investigated? Because it is an ongoing research and you are making a relevance with regard to that. So, that is what you have to keep in mind. Now, move to the next one, employ past tense for the experiments and observations, because experiments was completed before you are writing. So, please use the past format. Now, the future tense, you can use it for the predictions and the projections. Predictions, because of this experiment you are going to conclude something. So, there you can use with the predictions and projections. Now, I am going to move to the end of the session. I would give you 1 minute of time, just look at the particular paragraph. Please identify what the wrong is. Yes, have you completed? Can we move to the answers? Please refer to the answers, because this passage, it is about an experiment which was conducted earlier. So, what you have to do is, all the verbs you have to write it in the past format. So, keep in mind, do the proofreading carefully, catch the tense errors and identify inconsistent tenses. Thank you.